Is this thing on?
Are you ready, Matt?
You're listening to Box Office Bingers
with Matt Diaz and Ernesto Santos.
Good evening, folks. We have a wonderful evening's entertainment lined up for you.
We know each other. He's a friend from work.
Box Office Bingers.
And the only way that I know how to do it is to find you a bloody good dump.
He's my friend. I don't have friends. I got family.
I can do this all day.
You know, if you put your mind to it, you can accomplish anything.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Box Office Bingers. Ernesto, this we've been doing this for, I don't know, 6 years, almost 6 years now, 5.5 years. And it feels like that this is one of the most impromptu episodes we've probably ever planned. This was not part of our plan.
No, not at all. Not at all. I'm kind of glad that it kind of worked out this way. Like I feel like this is going to be better than whatever else we had planned. Like the movie the movie we're reviewing this week is Obsession, directed by new director Curry Baker. He has a $800, I guess it's technically a feature film, but it's an hour long. It's on YouTube. It's definitely worth your watch. But we're going to be talking about his new movie Obsession, and we have none other but Stev and first timer Lucy on the show. Thank you so much for coming on. I'm really excited to talk about this, you guys. Like, this is something that I kind of just I was like, man, I really want to go see it, so I went and saw it. And then I told Matt, I was like, I know we have this stuff planned, but like for what you're watching, like you should probably go check this movie out so we can let's at least just talk about it. And then I get a text the other day and he's like, hey, Steve and Lucy want to come on and review Obsession. I was like, let's go. Like, I'm down.
I was like, we spent a weekend with Matt all weekend long, a long weekend. And I was like, you know what? I need to see Matt again. I don't know.
I know. I heard about y'all's great time. I'm very jealous. I was unable to attend. There's a picture of you guys when you guys went to Six Flags.
I might have stole that umbrella.
Wow. You just admitted to theft on camera. That's great.
On accident. I paid for the ponchos though.
Yeah,
just
that makes
that
it a lot
nice.
better.
Look at that. Look at that umbrella. Is that Batman on there? Look at that. I want that umbrella.
Yeah, it's like the whole Justice League.
Let's not go into that story, okay?
Wow.
we don't have to do that.
I don't want that on the record.
I will not be an accomplice.
She's like, Steph, I'm not going to visit you in prison. It's not going to happen.
I want you to know I moved on. I was like, it's been 2 days. It's been 2 days.
They haven't even finished booking me yet.
I just can't be married to a criminal.
Like, I've been gone for 45 minutes.
I'm gone.
I found a new love.
I'm still in the car.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, we had a great time in Texas. So we had a great weekend. We had a very full weekend while we were there. But yeah, because we got rained out in Six Flags over Dallas, we decided. I mean, we kind of already talked about we were going to go to the movies, but this was like we solidified it once it was torrential downpour outside and like basically a hurricane just came by Six Flags for like 20 minutes.
Like literally, like 2 of the 6 flags were still standing.
Yeah.
But you know what? I do want to talk about that whole thing, like when the storm happened. So we're going around and we get there, we do one ride, we get to another ride, and it took way too long.
Yeah, 90 minutes.
Oof.
Like we got in line because like it was short, and we're like, oh, it's gonna be like 15 minutes.
It said 15 minutes. It said 15
yeah.
minutes.
And honestly, I believe that it would be 15 minutes if they had like 2 like cars running instead of just like one, one track train or whatever. And we're in line, and I was like, we're gonna get out early. It's fine. I was like, I have a doctor's appointment at 3. I got to be on though. So, like literally, I had to meet with my doctor so I can get my refill. And we're getting there, and we're getting closer. I was like, I'm gonna have to take this fucking doctor call on the ride. I was like, I'm not gonna pay for a rescheduling fee.
I love that you were still gonna get on the ride, though.
I was still gonna get on the ride. I
After
put that
90
much
minutes.
time in my. I had to see it through. So then we get off and I take it and it's funny. So then the rest of the day, things just started to like slowly kind of like shut down and close. They started to see like clouds rolling in.
Lightning in the area.
Lightning in the area. And then with the one ride that we were going to get on was indoors. And I'm at this point, I was like, you know what? My back's like really killing me right now. And like, I was like, and I'm like, how I know you're getting old. And I was like, you know what, guys, I got to tap out. Like, I was like, I need to go sit down. I need to get like something to drink and my back hurts. And Matt's like, oh, you're so old. I was like, talk to me when you're this age. Okay. I was like, and then I go and I sit down with a tub of cotton candy. I got a Powerade. Found myself a real nice rocking chair in like the frontier land of Six Flags. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, ooh, I was like, I felt some sprinkles. And then Lucy goes, oh no. And then I was like, I'm not bullshitting y'all. Like, okay. Which apparently she must not have relayed this message to Matt. And then I'm sitting on.
You're like, oh, he's just bitching. He'll be fine.
I know. I was like, and then I'm sitting on this rocking chair on this porch, just having a wonderful Sunday afternoon, watching this storm roll in. I was like, that's lightning, kids. And both of them were like, ooh. I'm like, okay. And then, waka! And it's like, all right, cool. But before that, then Lucy, I see them two get out of line and they come back in and she's like, Matt felt a drop on his hand. He's like, that's it.
He's like, that's rain. We gotta go. We gotta go.
I was like,
It's time.
I gave you a full fucking forecast and now that y'all didn't want to listen to nothing. Matt feels one bird piss on him and he's like, no, that's it.
We were hopeful. We were still hopeful at that point,
And then we were trapped. And then we were trapped
in a gift store.
in a gift shop,
Mm-hmm.
watching the water flood the shop.
Yeah, I hope they are gonna throw that stock away because it's gonna be moldy.
Then I'm not mad that I took the umbrella.
Okay.
Like they did not close any door. Imagine a hurricane coming and you leave all your doors open in your house. That's what they did.
Wow.
It was. I didn't know if it was like a safety thing or what, but
It probably is.
there were just children. There's just children running that place. So
It really was.
Baby girl, do we have a story for you?
Have you been?
You want to know what?
Have you been?
You want to
Disney
know what
World?
these two organizations are run by? By toddlers.
How do we
Yeah,
know? Because we were one. We were them.
And some of them had tiaras. So like it was crazy.
Yeah, it was. We got cut short on that day, and to Steph's point, like it did say 15 minutes. It was and also the rides before that were all walk-ons. So we were like, oh, okay, whatever. It's like I believe 15 minutes. We've been walking on these rides all day. And yeah, it was like a really, really brutal 90 minutes. And after
it was hot.
It was hot. Yeah. After the first hour, I was like, is this even worth it? And it's like, well, we made it this far.
Yeah.
We might as well.
You've already made the commitment.
It was so funny. Even when we got to the top, or Stev's looking at his watch and he's like, I got this doctor's appointment. And the lady's like, how many? And we're like, 3. And then Lucy's like, or how, it doesn't matter if you got room, let's just go on this next one. And
I've lost my patience at this point, and I've been doing the calculations. It's like every 4 minutes they're turning over the ride.
Yeah.
So I was like, if we get on this one, that's 4 minutes, and we'll walk off, and it will be 2:59, and you can do your appointment. So I was like, just split us up. We don't need to sit together.
Fucking Rain Man of theme parks over here.
She had already figured it out.
We don't care.
And she was like, boom, 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 and we got on the next ride. We're off in 4 minutes.
I literally took my phone out of my pocket and I had my doctor's appointment ready to connect.
You're in the lobby.
And I was like in the lobby, and then I was like, if it comes to it, I'm pushing connect in the middle of this. And thank God it didn't come to that, because like I had my phone in my hand, and after like that first drop, I was like, oh, that was a bad idea. Oh, why did I do that? I'm trying to hold on to my phone now for dear life.
No, we were gonna make it. The math was mathing.
Yeah.
The math was mathing. Yeah.
We literally made it out, and your calculations were very correct.
I was monitoring.
Yeah.
It was like a science experiment. I was like 4 minutes, 4 minutes, every 4 minutes. Yeah.
And then I got on my doctor call, and I sat behind a water fountain with children screaming and shooting water guns next to each other, and I'm like, can you not?
So wait, question for you. How long after you got off the ride did the doctor connect? Like how immediate was it?
Like pretty immediate. He's like very punctual.
He's very punctual.
It's like, are you walking through a gift shop? Yes, I am.
Yes. Well, I told him to. I was like, hey. He's like, hi, Estevan. He's like, oh, casual. And I was like, yeah, so sorry. Listen, I'm in Dallas at Six Flags right now. He's like, I've seen weirder. I was like, oh, cool. Well, I almost like answered the call on a roller coaster. He's like, that would have been a first.
That would have been a first. It's like, wait, what's weirder than this?
I even told him, I was like, honestly, I bet this doctor with like ADHD patients, I'm sure this is not unusual.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's very true.
For you to be in the most random place. Yeah.
He's like, this tracks. Look at him frolicking in a fucking theme park. Let's up this dosage.
You feel better now?
Yeah. Although we didn't get much done at that park, it was a nice looking park, I would have to say. Also, we rode this really weird Pirates ripoff.
Oh yeah, that was
that it kind of started as Pirates.
I'm gonna have to send it to you.
Yeah. it kind of started as Pirates of the Caribbean, and then it was almost like at some point, you know, when you go down into like in the Pirates ride, you go down a little drop, and then all of a sudden it was like from, you know, Bones, and then the real life pirates are doing whatever they're doing. But imagine going down a drop and you see ET alien looking creatures taking over pirates, and you're just like
out of nowhere.
You're like what is this? And then there's like the Queen was involved, and they were like torturing the pirates. I don't know what happened within the second ride of the second half, but
there also was like whimsical music. I thought we were on like It's a Small World.
It was the most disgusting like child product of like.
I'm gonna send.
It's ridiculous.
I'm gonna get it up. Let me get it. Give me a second. I can get it in here.
Okay, I'm gonna send you like one more. It's just because it was just funny because I was like, who is this woman? Why is she the queen?
Why is she the queen?
But it was like a fever dream of It's a Small World, pirates, and like Three Amigos in Mexico.
It was also it was a boat ride too. It was very strange. It was one of also I would say probably one of the strangest things we saw. But then also right across the way there were dinosaurs. Like you can go on a go-kart and there was like offbeat the Jurassic Park theme music playing while you're on a go-kart, and you can see dinosaurs in the area, which was also very, very strange.
Yeah, it was like Dino Trek or something right next door to, you know, this pirate ride, which was right next door to something else. And then it was funny because when we entered too, it's a very beautiful park. I feel like Six Flags don't think about their layouts very well.
No,
because we were walking through, and I'm just like, oh look, the Hall of Justice.
Yeah.
and then it's like, we're in the middle of the West, and I'm like, what is happening? And then it's like Gotham City. I was like, wait, no, shouldn't it be over there?
No.
Gotham City.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But that was just one side. Are you looking at the video? Oh, there you go.
Terrifying.
Okay. Yeah, that gets you there.
Yeah. What is that?
Yeah, I mean, it's you see it.
What?
That's like if a Roger Smith from American Dad made like It's a Small World.
Yeah, It's very strange.
I don't like that at all.
To say the least.
What the actual shit is that?
What are you?
Like, what is
this? Children's ride. This was a children's ride.
This is terrifying.
It was so funny, Lucy. There were children who were afraid of this ride, and Lucy goes, "Oh, it's not scary. It's
like
a 2 on the thrill level."
And then we get in, and I was like, what the?
And she goes, "I just lied to these children."
This little girl was like, "Ma'am, do you know if this ride is scary?" I was like, "I've never been on this ride, but it's only a tube."
That is terrifying. What
She's gonna
is
have
that?
nightmares.
I'm gonna have nightmares. I didn't even ride the ride.
I know, man. I was like,
We have
that
a
is
special
something.
guest. This is Luna.
Oh,
Say
hi,
hi.
Luna.
would you like
She
to
wants
say
to talk
something,
about
Luna?
Obsession too.
Say roof.
So you guys also,
No.
you guys also went to go check out the Netflix house. That's something me and Matt, when the news dropped, we talked about it a couple years ago, and like I saw you got to go. I'm super jealous.
Ernesto, before that story, I want to talk about the other park real quick.
Okay.
Because this is something that Megan has never experienced.
Oh yes. Oh, we missed the best part of the.
Yes.
You have that video, sir. I sent it to you.
Oh, okay. Yes, he did send you the video. You
No,
don't
not you. I sent it to Ernesto.
I know you did.
I sent
I
it
know
to
you did.
Ernesto.
Oh, you sent me another
He's
one.
like, you don't have to put that one on.
You don't have to put that one on. That's fine. That one's fine. So we got here. So just to put some context, I flew from Orlando to San Antonio. Lucy and Steph picked me up. I had coffee and a bagel at MCO. Then we get there. We go straight to the theme park after that, and then Steph's like, "Let's go get a drink." Great.
Yeah.
I don't know what Steph and Lucy
On brand.
got. On brand, yeah. I don't know what Steph and I don't remember what they got, but I got like
I
this
started
mic.
off with a new moon.
Yeah,
Not-
and then I ended up doing
what
like
are they called?
a blue.
A blue moon.
Is it a blue moon?
Did you say a new moon? Calm down, Twilight. God. Oh,
day.
Matt. See, I told you every day. Every
Every
day she finds a way to reference Twilight.
We started off with basic beers.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
and then I didn't think it was that
then
bad.
spring break college boy over here got an extra tall, extra hard. Mike's hard.
You better work, bitch.
You better work.
And so I had like this Mike's Hard lemonade, 8% alcohol. I sent this to Megan. She goes, "Oh, those are dangerous." I was like, "Oh, really? I don't know. Like that seems like it'll be tasty." And then we were on the ride. We were in line for the ride, and I thought I had to just like chug it because we were gonna be there for a minute. So we ended up waiting about an hour for it. So by the time I got off the ride, I basically just got drunk at a Six Flags.
I can't believe that I missed this experience, Matt, of you.
That's what
drunk.
Megan said.
I can't believe that,
This
especially
was
her.
not planned. Yes.
The slow descent of Matt after chugging a Mike's Hard was something that people can study. Like it was like
And it lasted hours.
hours.
He
I
doesn't
remember my
drink.
first beer. Like, what the hell?
But also we had a shot and then another drink. And then
Oh,
You
yeah,
got him to
but-
do a shot,
well, I've taken
Yeah.
shots before.
Matt.
It's not that I've taken shots.
Honestly, I think multiple shots.
No, we only did one.
We only did one. Yeah.
We only did one. I feel like we
Yeah.
went back. I mean, that
You went
homeboy
back.
knew us by name by that point. I didn't actually. Lucy went back first before I went back.
But it was so funny. Actually, I was telling Megan about the shot story, and she was like, she's like, "Oh yeah, we took shots." She goes, "You took a shot? We've never taken shots together." I was like, "Oh really? I've taken shots with Steph all the time."
Wow. Steph, you're
Sometimes
the
they're
friend.
forced.
Yeah, sometimes they're forced.
I open my
but-
eyes and there's a shot.
Ernesto understands that life.
Yes, I do.
But
I'm like, where you got to be?
Steph tells the story a little bit better than I do, but then we can move on to Netflix House. But there was this whole chicken nugget fiasco that apparently
These two motherfuckers.
We saw a sign for these beautiful looking chicken tenders, I think, or chicken nuggets. I don't know. They were hand breaded or something. I don't know. Something special. And they're located in the hall, like the German hall.
Say the hall again.
The hall.
oh.
Hall of Germany.
The amount of times where homeboy over here's tipsier than fucking, higher than a giraffe's ass, in every way. And then this one over here is starting to like, all right, and get all loosey goosey. And then I'm like, okay, cool. Like, I want to be on y'all's level. Like, this is fun. I'm like, okay. and then it's like, okay, cool. Like, we need to go get food. We want nuggies. We want chicken tenders and fries. We want French fries. I was like, first of all, check your attitude. Don't get sideways with me.
Okay, Dad.
I know. Like, for real. I mean, I was like,
he was the responsible one of this whole situation.
I was the responsible one in this one.
That is crazy. What a crazy.
It was crazy, right? What a
wild
time to be
thing
alive
for other people to say.
How the turntables. and then so I'm just like, what if we just like went here? And then I was like, hey, I really wanted nachos. We want fries. And I was like, okay. I was like, y'all can get your own food. Like, I'm not in, like, okay. And then so I was like, all right, whatever. We'll go over here. And we went to this one restaurant. She's like, we're gonna go to the hall. And then Matt's like, yeah, Stev, we're going to the hall. I'm like, okay. Echo. I know. I hear it. And then it's like, I was like, well, do you want like nugget? What if we just stop at the diner right here in like this 50s themed land? And she's like, and he's like, Stev, we're going to the hall. Like,
all right.
Well, I was like, all right. I was like, I just assumed diner, burgers. And I was like, also they're like, no, we're going to the hall. I was like, you know what? I'm going to shut the fuck up. It's fine. So there I go on with my life and I following them. And we get to the hall and we're there with like 1,000 high schoolers that had t-shirts that said class of 2030. I'm like, get out of my fucking face. Get out of my face.
Class of 2030.
I was like, get out of here. And they're all cut in line. And then Nicki Minaj and fucking, Megan Thee Stallion over here are all tipsy and drunk. They're like, oh, we want to cut line. And I'm like, I was like, they're going to make me fight somebody. And I'm going to have to hit a child. Jesus Christ. So I'm like, do y'all want to leave? They're like, it's whatever you want. I was like, do y'all want to leave? They're like, well, there's not even fries on this menu. After we've been in this line longer than we've been in a roller coaster line. I want to point this out.
Story, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
They didn't have fries there.
So
they didn't have fries.
It was really weird.
Potatoes.
They had potato
potatoes.
skins, but not fries. No.
So there I am. And I'm like, all right, well then let's go. I was like, maybe we should go to the diner. And they're like, oh, I was like, it's the 50s diner. And I was like, it's gonna have fries. I was like, there's a sign I don't think y'all saw. They're like, oh, whatever. Fine, it's fine, whatever. And I'm like,
all right.
Okay. All right. We're throwing attitude around. All right. It's fine. So then we get there and they're like, we wanted chicken tenders and we wanted fries. I was like, dumbasses, can y'all read the sign in front of us? What does that diner say? They're like, oh, look, chicken tenders and fries. And I'm like,
and then you left us.
And then I left them.
You guys can go figure it out. I need a break.
I was like, I'm going to go get nachos. You know what?
Yeah.
Screw this. Well, I wanted a hot dog, and then I came back, and I'm like, guess what? They're not selling hot dogs anymore. And both of them were like, why? I was like, I don't know. I was like, but if I was there 35, 40 fucking minutes ago, I would have had my hot dog.
Yeah. We were all hangry by now.
And I was just like, are y'all happy? They're like, we got chicken tenders. I was like, I can tell. Thank you so much.
I'm so glad you're okay.
Okay.
So glad you're both happy.
Yeah.
And then Matt's like, we should go back to the bar. I'm like, you know what? Yeah, you're right.
You know what? That's a great idea.
That's a great idea. We had a great time over at Six Flags. There was Fiesta Texas and then over Texas and in Dallas. But yeah, we had a great time over there. But yes, as you were saying, Netflix House. What's funny about Netflix House is that we talked about this.
Shout out to TJ, right? TJ?
Yes, shout out to TJ. Yeah. Yes, TJ.
Who's been on the show?
He was on the show, and when did Inside Out 2 come out? Was it 2023?
Or 2023 or 24.
You would know that. That's like the one that you cried at.
Which one?
Inside Out 2.
Oh, I can't remember.
She's like, I tried to block that out.
It was 2024. Okay, so roughly probably around this time, the summer of 24, almost 2 years ago, we had talked about that Netflix was developing Netflix House, and it was this interactive experience where people can come in and they have the branding everywhere with like food, dining, arcade games, bars, and these like two experiences that you can kind of go into. And we had TJ Dallasay on the show, during the time we were talking about this, as well as we reviewed Inside Out too. So
real quick, what's his last name?
Dallasay.
That's cool.
That's random, but all right.
Well, it was just funny. He was like DJ Dallasay. I was like, oh, what was that little Dr. Seuss moment you had? I was like, that's cool. That's a cool last name.
It's his name.
It's his birth name.
And so what's hilarious about all of this is that TJ then actually got a job working with Netflix House. He used to work with me Universal, and then he moved over here. And so I think it's just hilarious that we're literally talking about this experience with him, and then literally 2 years later he's working for the company, and he's developing these experiences that's over at Netflix House. So that Netflix House is in Dallas. They opened up one in Philadelphia. There's one in Dallas, and they're opening one soon in Las Vegas. And so since we were going to be in Dallas, I reached out to TJ, say, hey, I'm going to be in town. And TJ gave us like the works. He was like the full-on tour guide with this whole experience. And he got us in to check out one of two experiences that they had, one of which featured Stranger Things, and the other one featured Squid Games. And they're like these kind of mini hour-long experiences, interactive. And with Stranger Things, you're kind of they pitched it as you are in an episode of Stranger Things and you're searching for a person that is missing. Whereas the Squid Game, you're like part of the games, basically. You're the next contestants or whatever. And they said it was more interactive. That one was a little bit more involved. This one, you're kind of being part of the story for Stranger Things, and it was very interactive. And so we got to experience that, which was a very interesting experience, mind you. I had a really good time kind of like following along the story, as well as the visuals were kind of very much in your face. And then even compared to Halloween Horror Nights, it's more, since it's more theatrical, like they are very much in your face more so than it's inherently creepy because they're targeting you, not just like everyone who's in the house. So it was a really cool experience. And I mean, what do you guys think about it?
You want to kick it off?
I thought it was amazing. I had no idea. I had no idea what Stranger Things was because I've only seen like one episode and it wasn't for me. But
I don't know what this brand is.
Yeah.
But it was so cool. Like, I feel like we didn't really know what we were doing at the beginning. Like, they kind of told us what we're looking for, but we don't really know what we're looking for. It was probably a lot easier than what I was thinking. I was thinking like, I was thinking it was more complicated. Anyway, it wasn't complicated. Now looking back, it was really easy. I was trying to solve a missing person's case, like for real.
And literally all they wanted us to do was like find the
a number
in this room. And we're like, okay, there's 4, and there's 4, and maybe that's a 2, and we have to look at these signs here. And literally the task in each room was like, hey, you got 4, you found like 3 4s, the number's 4. All right, let's move on.
Pat on the back.
It was cool though.
It was cool.
It was in the dark too, like so it was creepy. You were wearing these headphones. They were like talking to you and sending you messages,
telling you to go to it like the next room. So I was thinking about it too, and I think the thing that made it feel so much scarier, like you were kind of pointing out, Matt, was that like it's targeted to us, just the group that's in that whole experience. But even more so, I think it made it more, the tension grew even more because I was like, oh my God, how many people do they have like scaring people? Because like whenever all the lights were flashing and all the doors were like turning on, I was like, if a motherfucker is in my face whenever the lights turn back on, I am going to lose my shit.
Because they had actors like in each room kind of putting on a little show. And
it wasn't really trying to scare you. Like it wasn't, the intention wasn't like boo. It was more like like you are like they were like just in your face. They were just like they like you were part of the story, and so they were literally talking to you as if you were, as in the terms of the story, you were going deeper into Vecna's mind, into the Upside Down. So like a younger human version of Vecna was like literally speaking to you, Victor. I think Victor Krill was whatever his name is. And there was a point when we were all like being shuffled into the next room, and the guy pointed at me and he said, "You go first." and it was just literally a hallway. And I was like so confused. Like, do I just walk? He's like, go in there. And I was like, I don't know what's behind this door. And then I tripped on the thing, and so I tripped into the door, and according to Steph, I was just like, I was lost. I was gone forever. They never saw me again.
Matt's dead. He failed.
Oh my god! I have to tell you. So he was like, "Go," and Matt's the first one out of this whole group, and we were with some randos too. And Matt's like, "Okay." He's like, "Faster!" And then so Matt goes, and Matt's foot just caught the lip of like the next door. And they got like these neon green lights and red lights on the next room, and they have smoke coming in. Yeah. And then he tripped and fell. I was like, "Oh my god, he's gone!"
You just see the smoke billow up.
Yeah, and I was like, "Oh!" And then he's like, and the guy didn't even stop. He stayed in character and played the part because he was like, "You go." I was like, "I'm not fucking going in there."
Doesn't seem safe.
I was like, "I need you to show me my friend that he's alive first."
So what was funny was that since I didn't know where I was going, it was a little bit of a maze. And so I'm pretty sure I went the wrong way because all of a sudden I was behind Stev and Lucy. I made a circle somehow, and I was like, "Oh, hey guys."
Where did you come from?
We're like, "Fucking wear a bell, Matt."
So is it kind of like an escape room deal?
Not really, no.
Like this is okay. I was thinking about it more. Think the what was the old ride before the Mickey and Minnie car over at the Chinese theater? It was
the Great Movie Ride.
The Great Movie Ride. So think Great Movie Ride. They had actors at certain parts that were like actual cast members.
Mm-hmm.
But you're not in a car, you're walking, and it's not like different movies. It's just one singular thing. So you're trying to figure stuff out. So you have a host, and I'll tell you what I told Matt and Lucy, and I also told TJ too. I was like, I am incredibly impressed, and I'm incredibly taken aback of how serious y'all take yourselves, because this could be a run-of-the-mill tourist trap that is like, oh, it's stupid, or Vegas has a lot of these type of things where it's like we have a couple of part-time workers that are just like or whatever, and there's not like a lot of like immersiveness into it. But Netflix House takes itself so seriously that it almost treats itself like a theme park, and it's like their entire staff is staying in character and playing the part. They're staying on theme. They're only talking about the Netflix properties. They are, wherever they're working, like they are very in it, and they take these and the performers that they had in the experience room with that, like they were very, very committed to everything that they were doing, and we're keeping the brand and keeping like the whole culture and the traditions just very on key and very IP for everything that they were doing. So I was very, very, very impressed with this entire experience, because like everybody's like, yeah, this is what we do. This is our job. Like we're going to make sure that it's the number one, it's the number one streaming, company. We're going to be the number one experience company in bringing you into our worlds and stuff. So I'm incredibly impressed. I need to share with you one of my favorite moments is like towards the end, there's this whole section has a live actor, and then there's like strobe lights, and then there's like huge set pieces, and then an actual actor, and then the lights go out, and then there's like smoke and like all this stuff, and then the actor does a very smooth and fast like quick change, but not like a quick change, like from the middle of the room to like the other side of the room, like within a split second of how quick the lights were out. And then all of a sudden when the lights turn back on, the actors there like tied up, they're like, ah, and there's like smoke and everything. This is my favorite reaction. Hold on. and then Matt's in front, and then I'm like behind Matt, and then all the lights turn on, and all I see is
and then I thought we were all supposed to clap. So
That's the Matt stamp of approval.
It was like just like.
It's like, wow, that was impressed. That was Matt impressed.
Yes. Yeah.
And I was like, I know, right?
That is hilarious.
I was like, bravo,
Yeah.
Netflix.
Yeah, it was funny too because TJ was watching us in the cameras in another room, so he was having a good time. Us just walking through everything.
Oh, that's funny.
But yeah, and then on the side of that, we also had like we spent the entire evening we closed down Netflix house. We got there like around 6:37, and we were there until like 11 o'clock at night. Now a lot of time TJ and I were catching up, and Estevan Lucy, they're just so happy to be there. Like we ate there, we were at the bar.
You invited us. What do you mean we just so happened to be there? We drove you there.
I said you were happy. I said you were happy to be there.
Oh, I think you just
were happy to be there, not just so happened.
I was like, what the fuck? We drove you there.
We walked in together.
Also, though, when Matt was giving me the address for this place, I was like, oh, okay, it's at the Galleria, which is like a really nice mall, like really, really nice mall. And I was like, well, if this isn't for me, I'm going shopping. So their location is like perfection, really good location for everybody. But I stayed the whole time. I had a great time.
Yeah.
So then,
they have their own entrance too. Like I mean, you can see it right there on the screen.
Yeah.
But it's insane. And then they have all these Netflix characters as statues walking in line out front into like as if they're going in. So they have like Wednesday, one of the monsters from Stranger Things, and one of the people from Squid Games and some other stuff. So then it's like a cool photo op, but it's like the attention to detail is incredible. Like they are very intentional about what it is that they're doing. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I think the focus is you can kind of see it.
So then once you're inside, so you have these experiences, you have the arcade. So like was the arcade just like random games, or did they like convert like their shows into arcade games?
This is my favorite part.
Yeah, hold on. Let Lucy tell the story.
Okay.
I am not like a fan of games like arcades, or like anytime we want to go to Dave and Buster's, I'm like, oh God, fine,
Yeah.
But they had like created their own games, like they're like Netflix themed games. They even had like a Love is Blind game, Find Your Perfect Match. Yours was some random dude. Nobody knows who it was. We were all disappointed. Like everyone watching him play the game was disappointed too.
Everybody around me was like, "Who's that?" I was like, "I don't know."
I think that's the only game that we were like, But they had like a The Floor is Lava game that was
so fun.
By the way, you need to like prep if you're going to this arcade. You got to stretch. You got to
a lot of
have
cardio.
your cardio.
Really?
A lot of we worked out,
bro. And it's one of those things too, because I mean, to your point, I think like a lot of us, like she doesn't care for arcade games, and if we go and do arcade games like Dave and Buster's, I'm not actively choosing the fucking cardio ones.
Yeah.
But this one, like everything was very like be swift, be quick, and like and then you find yourself wanting to run and be crazy in some of these experiences, and it was so much fun.
Much fun. And then the games like are set up so you can play with other people, so you know it was very much like competitive. Like we were playing this match the shapes on the board kind of game. And then what else was really fun before I go into the favorite one? Go ahead, Matt.
Bridgerton had one. It was like, you remember those mazes that like I remember my parents having it, and it was like a wooden box, and you had to like move the
ball,
like the ball,
marble.
The marble. So they had a Bridgerton one too, and it was like the whole like courtyard with all the different foliage mazes and stuff, and it's like a ball that you have to like get. As a team, everybody has one side of this huge table that you have to move because you can't move it on your own.
Oh shit!
And so it was very so fun. It was very well themed. And then I honestly, like the one she's gonna tell you about here in a sec is probably our fave, but also at the same time, I think The Floor is Lava is like I was like, how do I get one of these in my house? I want to practice.
And so the one that Lucy's about to talk about, just for like some context. So they have all these games that you can play. They're like, you have a card, you put money on the card, and you can play these games there for various points. They're the most expensive ones are about the value of about $10 each, and they're like these 10-minute mini games you can play as a group of people. It's meant to be played with a group. And so you're all paying your $10 to play. Now, just out of context, the ones are downstairs themed to Stranger Things and themed to Squid Game are like $40, an hour-long experience with multiple people.
Oh wow.
Then
separate tickets.
So this is like a whole separate. That's like a whole separate thing.
Yeah. So Netflix House as a whole is free to enter. You can walk inside for free. You can go up the stairs. They have the bar. They have the merch. They have the restaurant. You can go into the arcade. It's pay to play. Yeah. And then downstairs is the two main experiences themed to Stranger Things and Squid Game. Now in Philadelphia, if you happen to go to the one over there, those main experiences are themed to One Piece and Wednesday. And they're also vastly different to one another. They're not the same thing by any means, from what I was explained to.
Yeah.
But in the arcade, there are these 3 little mini games. Again, cost about $10 and about 10 to 12 minutes worth of an experience meant as a group. There was a Stranger Things themed one, which was described to us like an escape room, almost like you have to try to get out of the room.
Almost very like A Quiet Place is almost what I got when he was like, if you make noise, they're gonna find you. I was like,
that was the other one. That was the
is that the other one?
That was the other one. Yeah, the other one themed to Army of the Dead, which was that Zack Snyder movie that we reviewed.
Oh yeah, okay.
And that's the zombie one where we had to stay quiet. We didn't play those two. The one we did play, however, was based off of an anime that I've never heard of, but it doesn't matter. And Lucy is going to explain what the game is.
So basically, they have this whole like grocery store set up. It looks like a convenience store, a little grocery, and it's all like dumplings, loaves of bread, what else? Ramen, all my favorite things.
Like it's like an Asian grocery or like a bodega type thing.
Yeah. And then on the outside, there's like a window. So if you're in the room, everyone outside can watch you play.
But they can't hear you, because I noticed that whenever we walked in, I was like, oh, I would have thought we would have been able to hear the people playing before us, but you can't hear.
Yeah,
you can't hear anything.
I think you could have up to like 12 players.
Maybe I thought I saw 8. I think it was 8.
I think it's 8.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's 8. Yeah.
So you can have like 8 players. So just the 3 of us played. And basically you go in and the place is like a mess. Like everything's off the shelves, it's on the floor, and you're given like 3 tasks. I think this game was about 10 minutes long.
Yeah.
You're given like 3 tasks. The first one is you got to clean up the store. You got to like restock the shelves. So you're picking things up off the floor, putting them on the shelf. And who didn't know that you had to match the item?
That was me, because like I was like, okay, cool. Yeah,
They have a picture on the shelf, like, a loaf of bread, and Stev's putting dumplings on there. I'm like, bro, they don't match.
Like I think I was moving too quick for the game to start, because like nothing was on the screen, so it's like fill up the restock. I'm like, fucking clean this shit up, like trying to figure out, and they're like, who's putting bread where the ramen's supposed to be? I was like, oh, that's what?
I was like, did you never work in a H-E-B?
I was like, no, I did not.
By the way, side note, my favorite job ever in my whole life was working at the grocery store. So no wonder this is like my favorite thing. Like if they paid me, $100,000 a year to run a grocery store, I would do that today. Like that's my favorite job ever.
Careful what you wish for. Get it.
They definitely are not going to do that. But so anyway, the next mission was we had to fulfill orders. So like orders came in on the screen, and we had to go like get things off the shelf and put them in a bag, kind of. So that was the second stage. And then while we were doing that, is that when there were like attackers coming for us?
Yeah.
So then
the Yakuza.
Yeah.
Just shows up.
So part of the story was that, I guess, part of the anime that's on Netflix that, again, we've never heard of, but like this assassin, I don't remember the name. That's the thing. The assassin's basically is retired and also in hiding, and so he's working at the grocery store. And then as we are new employees at the grocery store, like we're learning how to run things, and so like we have to stock the shelves, fill out online orders, and all of a sudden the bad guys found out his location of where he was, and then they told us to throw the food at the interactive window. And you got points for hitting them.
Interesting.
Yeah. So we're picking up loaves of bread. We're throwing them at the screen, throwing them at the bad guys, and that was like intense. That was the most cardio because you're like running around, you're picking up things, you're throwing them, you're trying to fill a basket, and then what was the last phase?
We had to do all. I think we had to like. Hey, they're like, hey, you get the bad guys, but you also still have to fill out those online orders.
Oh,
so
yeah,
you're
yeah,
literally
yeah.
like picking up stuff on the floor, throwing it at the interactive wall, while also running over to the other side of the room, looking at the orders to fulfill them. In hindsight, we probably should have been working as a team. One person probably should have been yelling what the order was as we threw it to you, while somebody else is just actively just throwing it at the wall.
Well, now we just got to go back, Matt. So.
Now we have to go back. Yeah, exactly. Now we have a strategy. But the whole thing, like Lucy said, was about 10 minutes, and it was
so
a fucking
fun.
workout, man.
But it was a blast though, and I think and it was cool. So like, just so for those that are listening and trying to figure how this worked, they were like all like stuffed animal.
Yeah.
But inside the stuffed animal, there were like, I guess, sensors or something. So whenever you would put it on the table, it would be like, all right, you got all the items that you needed.
Yeah.
Bing. And then you're like, all right, good. And you throw them off and you do another order. So then when you would throw it at the interactive screen, I guess the sensor would like touch wherever you hit. And it's like, all right, you hit one of the assassins. You did not. They're like, watch out for the, the civilians. And it's like, oh shit. And, but I think it was.
We got docked points when we hit a civilian. We later found out on the screen, but like we hit 3 people. Oops.
Yeah, we didn't do well. But it was so much fun.
Sorry, if you hear a lot of shooting in the neighborhood going on, maybe not walk down it. Like, that's your fault. That's between you and God now.
It was a blast though. That was like that was the coolest game I've ever played.
It's such a great experience. I cannot
Sorry.
Honestly, I cannot speak highly enough about it. It was so much fun. And another, you know what? I'm going to give TJ another shout out too, because I mean, after we had talked to, I think right when we went up to go get a drink or food, right? I was like, okay, we need to get food. My gremlin's on a time schedule. So, so we're going up, and as we were walking up, TJ, the way that TJ talks about his job and also the experience and also the way that, and you can obviously tell, like, it's a person that's worked for a theme park and is committed to the culture and everything. But we were leaving, and as we were leaving, I was like, babe, that man loves his job.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that so much.
I get it. I love my job too, working there. That sounds awesome.
It's incredible. And then and I loved how whenever we came in, he was like, all right, he came and said hi to Matt, and then we were in the lobby and we're just kind of taking it in, and it's like, it's very interactive. It's so many opportunities for photos and being embedded into the photo. And he was just like, the moment he started, he was just like, okay, he's like, so all of this is red because this is our red carpet, and we're inviting you to join our our property, our home, and be part of our stories. And I was just like,
he was a great tour guide.
I was like, tell me more, Walt. Like, what the heck? So I have nothing but nice things to say about this man, because it felt like someone who was like my manager and also my mentor and also my father, because he walked us into our Stranger Things experience.
He did, yeah. He like held our hand.
Yeah, he's like, does everybody have their headset? Are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, I'm okay. He's like, don't worry, I'll be watching you from outside. I'm like, I was like, okay, cool. Thanks, man. I was like, if anybody picks on me, I'm coming to tell you first.
So then you guys also checked out the bar. How was like the food and the bar experience? So like, instead of them having like I'm assuming like random TV on, do they have like just Netflix shows and movies playing on?
Funny enough, they actually had the NBA finals were on. So like they were.
So it's like a classic. So it's like a classic bar scene.
Yeah, I guess in that sense, but also like all the food, all the food in the environment was themed to Netflix. Obviously,
yeah.
I had what was called like a WWE smash burger, which was pretty good. But I regret not getting what Lucy got.
Oh yeah, so their like cocktails were like they're themed, like Love is Blind themed or Bridgerton themed.
The more
yeah, they're all based off of the shows. And then what did we get to eat? We got the ramen, the Huntrix Remion noodles, which means double the noodles, we found out, because there was so much ramen
with crispy
like
pork
crispy
belly.
pork. Yeah, it was so good. That was the best thing I've had to eat this month.
Like,
wow.
Like that was some of the most delicious ramen.
Yeah. And
like,
we also got a grilled
not
cheese.
getting the ramen.
Yeah, like it was amazing. And then we did a grilled cheese with a tomato soup.
It was good, but not as good as the ramen.
Yeah, no, the ramen was like out of the park. All the drinks.
Yeah.
And yeah, and I'm a sucker for an old fashioned, and I'm also very picky about it. Nah, bro. Like their entire recipes for all of their themed drinks were incredible. The presentation, awesome. Like, they give it like a smoke. They'll give like the whiskeys a smoke, and then also present it in like a box with the smoke coming out. And I'm like, all right, that's what I'm fucking talking about.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. And the staff are like they are very I feel like they are very intentional about who they're hiring, because every single person that we came in contact with,
they talked to us.
Yeah.
Like we were like their best friends.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And I was like, this is so impressive. And then it's just one of those things where I was just like, I don't have anything other than like wonderful things to say about it. And I'm like, I can't wait to see like if they change out experiences and like, do we redo stuff for certain seasons and everything else. And honestly, this was like one of the first times. I mean, like we all love a good tchotchke or a gift shop from time to time, but this is the first time like both me and Lucy were like, let's go to the fucking gift shop.
We wanted to buy everything.
Yeah.
This is how like random it was. Like when I say everything was like Netflix show themed, like I don't know if you noticed, Matt, but there was like a sign that said like Jack's Bar everywhere or something, and I was like, I don't know what that is, and it's like from Virgin River, which is like this popular stupid girly show. It's so stupid that I don't even want to watch it. That's how bad it is. But like that's the level of detail they're going. They had hats for that place, and I was like, "What is that?" And I looked it up. I was like, "Oh my god, that's stupid!"
Yeah.
Like, who's buying that? Are there fans? Are there fans for that? I guess so.
Apparently.
I mean, if they're making merch for it, yeah, there's got to be fans for it.
I know.
What's crazy about it that TJ was telling us that these experiences down, like the main experiences, are meant to be changed out. So they said as of right now, they've only been open for 6 months, but the idea is that at least once a year, like between anywhere, he said anywhere between 6 to 9 months, but I'm pushing it to at least a year, that they're looking to change out those experiences to make it something new and, more, a reason to come back, keep it fresh. Yeah. So like right now, the hot thing is Stranger Things. The season just ended a few months ago, and Squid Game is popular, but nothing to say that they can't change it out for another popular IP that they have and make a themed experience about it. And they said they can probably take about 2 weeks to get all that stuff out, another 2 weeks to put the new stuff in, and then you're down for a month, and all of a sudden you have a brand new experience. And what's crazy about this,
which is also like, it's crazy thinking about like the turnaround. I was like, which showcases to me again like how much Netflix really cares about this experience that they're like curating now, because it's like, we're going to turn this shit over so quick to let you know that we are now ready. Because I mean, it's full sets, sir. Like when I tell you it is full sets, like the Stranger Things, like from floor to ceiling, every single thing is covered and is utilized, and it is incredible. Like, yeah.
And when comparing this to Ernesto, like the experience that we had with Universal Horror Unleashed over in Las Vegas, I think we talked about on the show. I don't really remember if we did or not.
I don't remember. I think we might have, but I don't remember. But it was fine. It was good for what it was.
Exactly. It was good for what it was, right? We paid $100 for a full experience.
Yeah.
Like you had to pay $100 just to get in.
Oh wow.
And then like inside, everything is, us outside of like the food and the drinks, everything else, you're paying for the access to the 4 haunted houses, and there's there's a show there. We were probably in there for maybe 3 hours, and within those 3 hours, a good 1 hour of that was us eating.
Yeah.
I would actually say about an hour and a half. We spent an hour eating at the restaurant and getting drinks, eating at the restaurant, and then we also went to the bar, which was about 30 minutes, and then we were part of the Ernesto. They pulled you for the show.
Yeah, they pulled me for the Jack show. Yeah,
they pulled you for the Jack show, and that was like another 45 minutes. So an hour and 45 minutes of 3 hours that were in there was for the entertainment and food aspect of it. The actual haunted houses, nobody was in there, so we just walked right in, and they said they were pulsing the line, which means they're going to cut it so you can have your own interactive experience. And maybe because I'm biased, because I work there, but I literally walking in and like boo, and I was like, yeah, good for you guys. you did it. Yeah,
you did the thing.
Boo to you too.
Yeah. And like I don't know, I feel like just that experience just didn't land. Like I know you're trying to create the the Universal Halloween Horror Nights, and that's its own big thing, and you're trying to give us a smaller version of that, and for me it just didn't compare to what we already know is bigger and better over in Orlando or in Hollywood. So like I mean, for people who maybe really are into the brand or have not been to Horror Nights, maybe this is something that they can really get into. But for us, we're like we know what bigger looks like, we know what better looks like, and there's like here's like this shrunken down version of it, and it just didn't land. However, with Netflix House, I feel like already out the door, like they're like, you got to pay to come in here. Nah, just walk in.
Yeah,
and
look at that sidewalk. It's beautiful.
Yeah, I know.
And you're like, yeah, and then what's crazy is that like Lucy was talking about the game we were playing. There's a window there. Like he's like, oh, what's going on here? Oh, that looks like a lot of fun. How much is that? Only $10. Why not us give it a try? You see this long line for Squid Game, and you're like, what's that all about? And you have to look it up, and then like it's like, oh wow, this looks like a lot of fun. How much is it? $40. Okay, a little bit pricey to some people, but like you're just paying for that experience. We can probably spend the same amount that we spent over at Universal Horror Unleashed, the same $100 per person, and that's not that we paid $100 to get in, and then plus food.
Yeah.
You can probably spend $100 including food, and I think we had a way better time. I think Netflix just has it. They have a great model, and it was very entertaining, and we were there for much longer than we were at Universal Horror Unleashed. And granted, TJ and we were catching up, so we were there for
hell, we were there longer than we were at Six Flags Over Texas.
That's so true. But I think to me what was interesting that when we were talking about this on the show, we were like, oh, this would be interesting. I'm really curious of how this is going to play out, and then actually having that experience was like, wow, I wasn't expecting to walk out of this Netflix house saying like, this is probably the most fun I've had coming out of an experience. Like I didn't think that when I was
in a mall,
right. And I was like, I didn't think as I was flying home that was going to be the highlight of the trip. It was a really good time. So if you
Ernesto sounds annoyed. He's like, sure, it sounds great. Y'all had a wonderful time.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad we just spent an hour talking about your great weekend that I was not a part of. No. No, I'm actually.
I'm out of the show.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go sit over here and fuck myself, I guess.
Fuck me right. Okay, cool. I'll be over here. Just, let me know when you motherfuckers are done talking about y'all's wonderful family vacation.
It was wonderful.
Well, next time we come to Texas, I want to hit that up.
Yeah.
No, that sounds like a good idea. We could spend a weekend.
We could spend a whole weekend over there. And I know it's not your football team and everything, but we like in Dallas too. We could do like a whole like tour of like the Dallas Cowboys like stadium and stuff, and like that's a really cool. Okay, calm down, man.
Stadium. What are you talking about?
Nobody even. What?
Quit being a bitch. If you went into the stadium, don't act like you're not going to appreciate walking into the fucking stadium.
I know. God, I was like, it's where the World Cup's going to be hosted this year. Okay, how about that?
You're not wrong. It is there.
But no, yeah, I think Netflix House was just
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. Yeah. Would recommend. I think I even mentioned this to Matt. I was like, I think they also did a really good job in the sense of like you being able to curate specifically what you want to have, like what kind of afternoon or evening you want to have, because it's like, all right, I'm already going to spend an hour in this one, experience. This other experience in an arcade is going to be 10 minutes. And it's like, all right, I'm going to get drinks. That's going to be about like another hour. I'm going to go shop. That's probably going to be another 45 minutes. So it's like you can literally spend like
the whole day in there.
A whole day if you wanted to. And it's just, I think it's just done so freaking well. You know, props. Very polished. TJ,
Cool.
you doing a good job, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to TJ once again.
Shout out.
But with that, we talked about how we kind of got rained out in Six Flags Over Texas, which gave us the opportunity to go to the movie theater to kind of cap out. Look at that. You saw that segue? Thank you, Lucy.
We appreciate
Thank you for appreciate it. Thank you. You should be more like your wife, Steph. And so
damn, shots fired.
I have been catching strays lately. I've been over here medicated on Adderall, doing my being a better self of me, version of myself and everything. And people are like, "Remember when you fucked up?" I'm like, "Where did that come from?" Catching strays left and right now.
So we kind of ended out our weekend, and because again we got rained out, we went to a movie theater that I've never been to that movie theater before. Have you? That chain?
Yeah, no.
It was called the Studio Movie Grill, and it was basically a dine-in theater. I think it's funny enough. I think we went there because it said it was going to be recliners, and then it was like half recline. I was like, "That's not recliner.
That's not recliner.
That's not. I know what a recliner is. That ain't.
I know what a recliner is.
Yeah,
sucks.
We specifically looked up 3 movie theaters. One, Alamo Drafthouse, which we love here in Texas. We go all the time, but there's no recliners.
Yeah,
that's one of the things. Like if you want to go to a movie and be comfy and cozy, like not Alamo Drafthouse.
And then our Cinemark recently just changed up their
oh yeah, we got those. What are they? The D-box.
The D-box, the new D-box seats, and they're like a huge pod recliner.
Yeah,
and then
and they move.
You're in zero gravity and everything.
And heated seats.
And then heated seats, and we didn't know what this button was. I was like, "What is this? I don't know what this is." And then I was like, "Whatever." And then literally 20 minutes, I was like, I was like, "They're heated seats, babe." She's like, "I figured it out too."
Yeah, I saw.
No, but go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh, so we picked the Studio Movie Grill because they did have reclining seats, but they're only in certain parts of the movie theater.
Yeah.
So in hindsight, I would have picked the original seats I thought we were gonna pick.
Yeah, I thought we were gonna be too close to the fucking screen.
Yeah, because it looked like we're gonna be the third row from the screen, but they're actually pretty high.
Yeah, they're
pretty
high
far. Yeah.
But also so we picked the only. Yeah, go ahead, Matt.
No, we picked the only seats I had because it was also weird to your point that not all seats were recliners.
No, all the ones behind us and next to us were not recliners. Yeah. Isn't that weird?
It's extremely weird.
And then us bougie motherfuckers over here, we're all looking for buttons to how to recline our seats and stuff. I was like, I'm like, we're pushing buttons, and apparently it's the one to call the stewardess to come over. She's like, "Can I come back and get you in a second?" I was like, "Did I call you?"
She's like, "Yes, you did.
Yes, you did. Yes, yeah."
And then we're all looking around, and I'm like, I know I'm not dumb, but where's the button to do? And then finally somebody comes up. She's like, "Are you trying to recline?" And I'm like, "Yeah."
And somebody just watching you struggle.
She's like, "Use your body weight.
Push back.
I was like, "What in the IKEA fuck?"
It was so funny. She's like, "Oh, dumbass, just push back." You know, have you ever reclined on a chair before?
Yeah. Hi, sorry,
Matt,
it's not
Matt. That artwork in the lobby though, because me and Matt we got some really cool prints from the horror convention that we went to, and and I was like, part of.
No, that was a whole other part. Steph, we said we weren't going to talk about this.
You're gonna have to take Ernesto on a special trip.
I know. Yeah.
He did come see me, so.
We did surprise Ernesto.
Yeah, you did. Which I'm forever grateful for, but doesn't mean I can't be jealous of all these other great times you guys are having together.
Come visit me when you got a long weekend. And,
with
and
me
and
my...
I don't know, kennel the kids and stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, if only it worked like that.
Juju can watch them all. He's old enough. If he can drive, he can babysit.
My mom had me babysitting at 11 years old. Yeah, that's why I'm so responsible.
All right. but yeah, no, we were doing all these things. And I was like, you know what? I'd like a really cool print of like, and they had like all the different movies and got some cool ones and mostly all horror stuff. But I was like, oh, I would have liked a Batman or something.
I should go get one of them because Matt said it was porn.
Oh yeah, it's right there. Go get it. It's not. But Matt over here is a dirty bird. He's like, why'd y'all get a porn print? I was like, nobody got a porn print. We are members of the community now.
Nobody got a porn print.
I was like, good Lord. But no, we were in this movie theater. We walked in and it's legit artwork from I think a comic art. It's a comic book artist, and he does mashups, or he does what is it like crossovers.
There you go.
Oh, yeah.
Look at that, show and tell.
This is one.
That's
that
cool.
we got.
This one. That one's a cool one.
This is another one we got.
Love that.
I really like that one. That one's really nice.
I'm gonna save the best for last. Oh, you got this one.
Oh, I love it. I've been wanting an American Psycho print for a while, so I'm gonna put that in my office.
Solid choice.
And then this one.
That's not a porn print.
He goes, but then Matt goes, why is his nose going up into her arm like that? And I was like, I don't know how you have intercourse, but I don't think it ever goes in the armpit, Matt.
I was like, this is giving me Sabrina the Teenage Witch vibes. It's very cutesy, very demure.
Yeah.
He was like, porn.
Yeah. Fucking government over here. He's like, there'll be no porn in this household.
He's like, you're gonna put that in your office? It's like going in your bedroom.
I was like, I don't think it's porn. Do you
that one out?
I was like, have you ever seen porn?
Oh my god.
But no, it was really cool. So we got these cool prints, but yeah, no, in the movie theater they had these like prints of like Gambit versus Nightwing, and it's all cool. Like, and then all these other different Marvel and DC like crossovers that were in the hallway. It was a very cool looking theater. It was just my whole thing was that people were talking and serving food like very loudly.
Which in Alamo Drafthouse, like you're not allowed to talk, you're not allowed to be on your phone. Like they will throw you out.
Oh, I love that.
The servers are like ninjas. They like run, like they squat down so they don't get in your view.
Yeah. And they're all wearing black.
They never talk. You write everything on a piece of paper so that you don't have to talk.
Yeah, so they can see your little flag.
Yeah.
So
in hindsight, we probably should have went to the Alamo Drafthouse, but I think remember we looked at the showtime that was like next available and it was packed, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. And then I think there was like another one that was
recliner.
No recliner.
And then no.
And I think
that was a big feature.
Was it like the last showing like at 9 or like 10 or something?
Yeah, it was pretty late.
We were like PM.
That's late.
That's late.
I gotta go take a nap.
We were already tired.
We were. Yeah, you're right. We were already tired, and like my shoes still need to dry from from it being wet.
Poor guy. Matt over here. Matt has trench foot and everything.
But all to say, we finally got into the theater. We got into the theater, and it was funny because I said, "Oh, Ernesto wanted me to watch this movie, Obsession," and I've heard about it. I heard it was doing well. It wasn't really on my radar. Ernesto was like, "Hey, we should probably watch this and add it to the show." And Estevan Lucy was like, "Oh, we haven't seen this movie either. We were 100% down to watch it." And now at this point, we're gonna be diving into our spoiler review of Obsession. And Ernesto, we've been talking a lot, so we'll start with you. What were your first thoughts on Obsession?
So let me just first say I'm really glad that we're reviewing a movie that you guys saw on your little family vacation that I was not a part of, that I recommended for both of you, that I recommended for you guys. So
first of all, shots fired. All right.
I love that we're a family now too.
Yes, your little family. Like Matt's
my new
leash
mijo.
kid. Yeah, exactly. Matt's the leash kid. Give me my chicken nuggets.
I want chicken tenders and fries.
All right.
What does that sign say? Oh my God! Look, chicken tenders and fries.
How you doing? Entertain me, Steph.
Take care of me, Papa. All right. So let's dive in. We're gonna talk about it. Obsession. So my first impression and vibes, like it's just like I just thought it was the overall like what a crazy ass movie, like such a simple concept that they were able to turn into this feature film, and to me it worked. Like I loved how just like simplistic and intimate it was. I also really liked the was that the dog? Jeez,
that was Luna.
Luna wants to tell us how
happy
she
that
thinks.
She's not featured in this episode right now.
Do you want to say something else?
No, that was it.
No, I think she's
Was it? Okay.
That's all you got.
She's obsessed with us. Come here.
I really liked how they changed the aspect ratio just to kind of make the film more intimate. You're not, it was,
Yeah.
a lot of this, cut all this shit on the side, just focus what's kind of on the center of the screen. Just something like immediately as soon as the first frame come out, I was like, oh, that's different. And then it does force you to kind of pay attention differently in the movie, just because there's not as much on the side to kind of be distracted with.
Yeah.
But it was kind of like this wild mix of like dark comedy, psychological horror. There were some there were some jump scares that really land, and it's kind of like this twisted rom-com wish fulfillment story. But it really focuses on like obsession and loneliness and like how easy people can get obsessed and how what the repercussions if you force love on somebody, and if you just like we've all seen those relationships like, wow, they do not need to be together. Like those two people just don't need to be together. He's clearly, you know what I mean? Like that person's clearly obsessed. But to me, like that's what made it work, is that he took this theme and he really, wow. The wish was kind of like a MacGuffin to kind of like get what he wanted to happen kickstarted. So I just off first impression and rip, like I really enjoyed it.
Does Luna have something to say?
She just wants to be a part of this, I think. Yeah.
So
well, Lucy, we'll go to you. What were your initial thoughts on the movie?
Oh my gosh. I went into it thinking it was going to be like a horror movie, like really scary. I was a little nervous about watching it. It's not really, horror isn't my jam really, but I went into it kind of with an open mind. I was with a group. So I was safe, and then and then
actually technically that was kind of like an epic movie night, wasn't it? Because we watched a movie in theater and then we went back to the hotel and watched more movies, right?
Wow, you literally just broke my heart.
Stev!
Come on, Stev. Shit. We did watch The Devil Wears Prada when we got back though.
Great.
I gotta bring Ernesto here now.
Yeah. Get him a flight right away.
Yeah.
Right away.
You should be looking at flights right now, Steph.
It's okay. He doesn't. All right. I'm just kidding.
Oh man.
My dog is obsessed with me. Like she is part 2 of the movie. But yeah, it wasn't scary. Like I wasn't like scared. There were a couple of jump scares. There was definitely creepiness. There was some weirdness. But I found like a lot of us in the theater were laughing most of the time, which, it was funny. There were some really funny things, and her being all creepy and weird. Like it was very serious, but it was also very funny. Like it was great. Like I don't think I've watched a movie for a long time and then gone and researched it afterwards. So I like every post on my algorithm was about obsession this weekend, and I just was reading stories. We had like a 6-hour drive home, so I was reading all these thoughts and theories and stories to Stev, and some of them were like absolutely outrageous, and then some of them the director had like debunked. He was like, no, that was actually just a coincidence. You guys are too deep,
Yeah.
But yeah, I really enjoyed it. Like it gave us a lot to think about, a lot to talk about, and I haven't really had that for a while with a movie.
So what was your biggest takeaway from the film, like either collectively and individually? Like what did you guys think? Like what was your biggest takeaway from it?
Okay, so for me too, like I think I went into this film I had seen the preview and I'm like, okay, cool. Like I'm not really expecting much. And then everything that happened, it was, I think what was scariest about it was the underlining, like, you know, kind of theme and message of like codependency and like what depression can like do, and when you're like so desperate. Because you know, because Curry, the director, had even, I was listening to an interview, and he was like, he goes, I'm very interested in making this a series and not necessarily they're all horror. Like, I'd love to make a rom-com with the One Wish Willow. I love to make, you know, a thriller with the One Wish Willow. I love to make, you know, whatever with the One Wish Willow. He goes, and the One Wish Willow is like the key thing in all of these films, but it's not necessarily a horrible thing all the time, and it's not supposed to be always scary. The wish is scary. And that's what the biggest thing is, because he wished for her to be obsessed with him over to love him out, you know, more than anything in the world. And you saw the descent of her not giving shit about her own personal hygiene, not caring about people around her, not caring about anybody else, and not caring about her own safety in times, because all she was supposed to do was be obsessed about him out of everybody in the world. So Bear's wish is the most dangerous thing out of this thing, which the wish pulled her into like this, this purgatory. Yeah, this purgatory of where she's being held captive. However, not everybody's wish is going bad, because even the guy at the counter, when he went to try to buy another one, was like, listen, bro, like my wish, like, I already used mine and it's going great. You know, like it's what you were asking and what you were specific about. And there's so many movies about it, and you know, and kind of on theme for like the three of us, you know, Aladdin live action is a great example too, because like Genie at one point goes, the details are in the wish.
Yeah, he
like,
wasn't specific enough.
Yeah, because he's like, he goes, you can say make me a prince, and I could like boom make you a prince, and you're snuggled up to that guy. And it's like, he's like, be very careful and intent on what it is that you're asking. And Bear had no, also to be fair on his side too, are we thinking that magic is actually going to happen when I break this tchotchke that I bought from this store, right? However, it is also kind of telling us like to be very cautious and very mindful about what it is we are putting out into the universe in a way too, because it's like, hey,
what you wish for,
because you just might get it.
But also there was the point where his friend, you know, he was trying to tell his friend about it. He also didn't believe him, and he's like, and then very like quickly he was like, I wish for $1 billion, and he cracked it instantly. And like for us as the audience, it was such a like, and the movie just does a great job with it. It was such a tragic moment because he's trying to get out of a situation and he's literally screaming like, no. But to that point, the wish didn't really have any room for it was very simple. I wish I had $1 billion, and then it just literally started falling from the sky. It would appear so in the movie. So yeah, to our main character Bear, yeah, you're right. He didn't think this was real. He just like, he was so frustrated. He was like, oh, I just wish, you know, she loved me more than anything in the world, and then cracked it. And then instantly, obviously, we saw the repercussions of that. But like, it was like, to your point, like, careful what you wish for. Ernesto, you look.
Well, but I think that that's a testament to how they wrote his character, because I think my biggest observation out of Bear is that they made him like somewhat of a coward. So like he's someone walking through the world that doesn't know what he wants. So I just thought it was like he was such a passive, hesitant guy. Like even before the wish, Nikki clearly gave him a couple of openings early on, and he just didn't take them. And then after she comes
right before the wish, she was like, now's the time to tell me.
Exactly. And even then he's still super hesitant and just kind of goes along with whatever she says, even when they're together. Like that same trait, she just kind of carries on throughout the whole movie. But I think to your point, I think him not being careful what he wished for, and him not knowing, him being confident himself to know what he wants, that he caused that to happen for not being that confident as a person.
But I think you made a really good point about him being a coward.
Yes.
Because that was prevalent throughout the whole movie. Not only was he unable to tell Nikki in that moment what he felt when she was directly asked before the wish.
Several times.
Like, several times. Then to me, it got even cringier when she was like now obsessed. He realized what was going on. His friends were like, hey, what's going on with Nikki? Wasn't telling anybody the truth. But then even like, he's like, oh, well, I have to be there for her. Like he was almost enabling the obsession.
Oh, that's a good
and that's like, you can see him as a character, just like he's like, well, it's like, I guess this is how it is now. Like, yeah, I'll love you, or knowingly, like, kind of going along with the charade, because things were great, but then all of a sudden he was like, he knew this was uncomfortable, but he wanted to do it anyway, because as the title suggested, he was not equally, but he was as obsessed with her as she was with him after the wish. Like, he was so
personally,
obsessed with
I personally think that his villain like turn fully for me, where I was like, you're now you're a bad guy, was when the real Nikki was able to speak to him, and he's like, the other one, she's asleep. And then he's like,
now's your chance.
Yeah, kill me, please. Kill me, please. And he's like, what would be so bad being with me? Even though he was already in the mindset, like a few seconds before, being like, this is fucking crazy. I got to, like, what am I going to do? Like, how do I do this? And then the real version came out, and then he got so butthurt and then had to be like, well, what would be so wrong with being with me? And I'm like, and then walks out. I was like, you son of a bitch.
Coward. He's a fucking coward, because the honorable thing would have been to honor her wish of what she wanted.
Yeah.
If you truly loved her, give her what he wants. Now maybe he could argue in his mind that, like, oh, well, I'm trying to find another way out so that she doesn't have to die. But really, it's that he just wanted to hold on to this thing that he wanted. He just wanted to have her. Now that he had her, he didn't really want to let her go, even though he had the opportunity to let her go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you noticed this, Matt, but because I had noticed this during the movie and I forgot to like ask y'all after we left. But I like how Curry did like some cool little things. Like, they're not really Easter eggs, but little attention to detail things. So like the one wish willow, after you break it, makes a noise and makes a little jingle. But when he tries to break it again, and then it makes a different jingle after, it's like and then it's like so it's like a separate one. So he does these like small subtle things that like really are like cool to see like on screen or to hear, and everything else as well. So it's like, I was like, he did so cool on that end. And then also before I lose it, one of the things I really took away from it too is like when we walked out after the whole final scene and everything too, I was like, how Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah.
Like, that was Romeo and Juliet. Like, one thought they were dead, and then one wakes up from, a death, and the other one had already killed themselves when the other one was going to come out of it or something. So it was like, it was a very, cryptic, very, dark Romeo and Juliet, which is already dark. But
what's interesting, because I actually had to look it up at the very end, because she broke the willow. And he had already like taken the pills to try to kill him, like to start the process. But she had already, like, if you notice, like in that moment, like he starts to turn obsessed with her. I didn't catch that. I had to look it up afterwards. I didn't catch that until after I saw the movie. I was like, oh, he's just like, I guess it wasn't fully spelled out. But then once I read it, I was like, oh, I guess that makes sense, because they show you the willow. They make it a point to bring the willow back to the house with them together, and they're separate. And they show that shot of it broken, and then he starts, like, you see the eyes glaze over, and he starts smiling, and then he goes in her arms, and then he dies. Yeah,
that to me, that was the tell instantly, when like he was just kind of there, and it was almost like he woke up in that moment and just instantly went to her. Yeah, I was like, and to me, I was like, oh no. I think I even said it to you in the moment. I was like, he's like, oh, she made the wish. Oh no. And
well, me and Matt both, I think we both kind of got it. I was like, she made the wish, because like literally he had finger down his throat to try to like throw up, and then all of a sudden, just the way he sat up, I was like, I was like, she made a wish. And then Lucy's like, what's going on?
I missed that whole thing. I was totally didn't pick up on that.
But Stev, I think you brought up a really good point about like codependency. I mean, the point where he leaves to work, and it's like, no, they don't even show that shot. They just kind of like, they show him like being like very hesitant, and then it cuts to the door like fully fucking taped over. he's like trying to pry it open, scary. And then she's standing there for the whole time, and you see her pee like right before like right as she leaves, and then you see like, I love the way they shot that, because they like, you fully got what she was going through, like how she's forcing herself to be in there, how like she like that crazy part of her, that demon or whatever the thing that's taken over her is like you can tell that she's being forced to be there. There's like that forced smile, the peeing on the ground, and like her the way they had her clench her teeth. It was just so well done. Like they didn't have to say anything, but you could tell so much from what happened just from that one scene. And he comes back and she's like covered in puke and shit, and it's also because she cooked that fucking cat for him to eat. Oh
yeah, that was crazy.
Too much. That was too much.
Let the cat just rest in peace. Like, Jesus Christ, this poor cat.
You know what? Yeah, what's crazy is that the movie, I didn't expect that to be a reoccurring thing.
No,
because the movie started with the cat dying and like him walking through the door realizing that the cat got into his meds. Now thinking about it, foreshadowing. And
oh yeah.
And what did you call him? They're good.
Oh, they said that they bookended the film.
Yeah.
Yes.
With, like how it started, that's how it ended. Yeah. Because apparently he dies in the same spot pretty much too.
Oh, I don't think I picked up.
I didn't catch that.
That was one thing that I read.
With foam coming out of his mouth, just like the cat.
Like the cat. No, but also, what does the wish say? Something on the box.
Oh yeah.
It's like
it's called tabby
cat
something, and it says curiosity.
Yes, like
curiosity,
unique curiosities,
and
cat. It's like curiosity killed the cat, like the whole way through the movie.
Yeah, I mean, to your point,
I deep dived.
Yeah, seriously.
No, I didn't even catch that.
I didn't catch that either, and it's such a. I don't even know what we're talking about. I forgot what was the point before this?
The codependency.
We're talking about
the cat, her eating the cat, the whole eating.
Yes, the cat. Yes,
thank
you. Yeah, I didn't realize that the cat was going to be such a big prominent.
Yeah.
Picture. Not only like, oh damn, his cat died. That's a horrible way to start a movie. And then it was like, then after the wish, she was like, oh, I got like it was like a shrine. It was almost like, oh yeah, here's the cat for you, and you're like, what? That's a little weird. And then
like she was trying to bring it back to life. I was like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah,
and then the note she left in the lunchbox. I forgot what it said.
Yes. And then she was like, what does this mean? Like, and then you're like, and you also realize that oh no, it's that. And it's the creepy things that was throughout this movie that kind of just there was a constant shock value throughout this whole movie that I really appreciated, that I feel like within the storytelling made a lot of sense. But you're just audibly either laughing at the situation, freaked out by the situation, or just shocked within the situation.
That's really true.
Yeah.
And I feel like that was consistent throughout. And going back to the moment where she was able to like, hey, she's sleeping. To me, I was like, oh my God. Like, to me, that was such a shocking moment of being like, hey, like, just kill me.
She's
like,
in there. She's in there.
Yeah. And she is aware.
A real person.
Yeah.
She is aware of, to me, that was the game changer of the movie, was like, she is fully aware of everything that is happening. He had the audacity to be like, hey, what's so wrong with being with me? And I think what she even had to say back,
I don't know. I can give you the last fucking few days, and
right. and she was, and I think she said, "I never loved you." Like that was never me.
She said, "I was never with you." Yeah.
Yes.
Like,
yes.
That's what it was. Yeah.
To me, that's just such like a one, as for a person like him who is obsessed with her, just a gut punch.
Yeah.
But also like, what do you think is gonna happen now, bro? It's like, you know what I mean? It's like you've 100% lost this opportunity if there ever was one to begin with.
Yeah.
And then on a different factor we haven't discussed was her their friend Sarah.
Oh.
Yeah. And I think, to me, again, the story
gone too soon.
Yes. The story's so good in this movie is that going along with the themes of obsession. Literally, you are obsessed with somebody who's not even into you. And there's literally somebody right there that if you just opened your eyes, you could see that, there's this connection that was literally right next to him. But he was so focused on something else that he had no chance with, that it turned into this entire catastrophe of series of events.
How selfish is this man? Like, he has everything he wants, and then he gets up in the middle of the night to go meet another girl.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was like, he
she's
wants
like
to have his
forcing him.
cake and eat it too.
But
Yeah.
what's also, Matt, you actually brought up a really good point. So what's interesting is that right before he goes to meet Sarah is that moment that we're talking about of where she's like, kill her. So if he had actually done that, he would have that would have changed everything that happened right after.
Yeah, but he was also a coward, and obviously he wasn't going to do it because he wanted the same thing. And I guess for whatever reason, she was being pretty adamant about, hey, I need to talk to you right now. And then we later found out it was actually a sweet moment initially because she's like, hey, I got my letter. It's the last thing this is the last thing I wanted to share this moment with you. And she was even like, and she was like, well, I was on your left. And I literally, I'm sitting there in the chair, and she's like, she is going to fucking die.
Yes.
I don't know when it's going to happen, but she is going. That poor woman. It was so like visceral. Like crashing through the side door and just smashing her head on the steering wheel.
Just puts the brake in front of the steering wheel and just smashes her, and literally just smashes her.
That is insane. Like, and I kept telling people, I was like, yeah, the brick. And they're like, what brick? I was like, did you not notice the brick that she put in front of the steering wheel and then smashed her face into? And then they're like,
oh, I didn't notice it either.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's why her face got so fucked up is because she put a brick after she crashed through the window. She put a brick in front of the steering wheel and then slammed her face into a red brick the entire time.
Oh, it was so gross.
I didn't catch that.
And then that one movement of her eyeball just like moving. I was like, ah! No, kill her, please.
But what was great about that scene is how they let them have this moment. They fully let that moment. They let them have the moment. They let it breathe, and then the second you get comfortable, you just see her shadow like in the and right behind her, and then we just unfold into that. And then also of like how his wish altered her because he saw that she liked him. Like she like brought her back to the house, tied her up to the chair, and mimicked all her tattoos all over her body. Like wild, like just crazy, fucking crazy.
I don't think he knew that this, like, he was such oblivious of what was going on. He had no idea that she was even into him.
Yeah.
And so like, I think even that moment, he was just trying to be a good friend for her, not realizing that she's like, no, she's finding comfort in you. She's want to share these moments with you. Yeah. She was like almost maybe excited when the rules of the game said that the person to the left had to kiss. Yeah. But that moment was also so cringy that they're playing the game and Nikki just shoots up and she
that scene is wild.
No. And she just came out of nowhere, drags the seat back.
And then like, what the fuck?
And then she literally just like goes down on her knees and puckers her lips. And it's like, you're going to kiss me now. And you're like, oh my God. That is.
And with that whole look on her face, right? Just standing behind her in silence, just like.
She puts like a big frowny face.
Like literally. And then what's her face is sitting in front and she's like, she's behind me, isn't she? And she's like. And then just moves the chair. But you know, I think the other thing is too is like people are like, oh my God, she's obsessed with him. She's obsessed with him. I was like, also, I feel like the title is not just about Nikki and the wish. It's about his obsession with Nikki that brought him to this point that someone is now obsessed with him that over the top that he can't handle. And also, let's be real too. What a bitch. Like, come on. Like she got obsessed with you and you didn't even like, okay, like I'll do whatever you say, girl. Like it's fine. I've been wanting this my whole life. No, after one day, you're like, you're acting weird. I don't like this. I was like, oh, you motherfucker. Yeah. I was like, God damn, man. But no, I think that was, I think with everything that they were doing, it brought in so many different aspects of horror and the whole genre into it. Because like you said, there is the comedy in there. And then Curry has even talked about, he's like, honestly, I didn't write some of these things to be funny. I did it because it was uncomfortable and it was like and you know the way she would move and someone being so obsessed with somebody would do things that are cringy. He's like, but then they ended up having laughs and he's like, so I've been loving the fact that people are like laughing at things that I didn't intend for that to do. He goes, but but also in the same sense, he said that it was also helpful for him. He goes, because trying to like put in comedy like comic relief into like horror movies, you know, some people are very, very good at it. Wes Craven, I think, was brilliant at it, with his thrillers. And he's like, I wasn't trying to do it, but I knew it needed to happen, and I didn't know. And so the things that I thought were going to be real funny don't really pull a laugh. He goes, but the things that I had no intention of them being funny are the things that everybody's laughing at in the theater right now. And I was like, oh, that's even better now for you, because you can kind of like almost, in a sense, audiences are allowing you to be yourself without having to like really like second guess it and really get too deep into like, is this gonna be funny? It's like, hey, you know what? I'm just gonna do what I do, because people either find it funny or they find it creepy, and and it works out. So I mean, just kudos to both of them for creating what a cultural, a new.
What a great actress.
She was fantastic.
Yeah,
fantastic. What's her name again?
Indy Navarrete. I believe that's how you pronounce it. Navarrete. Yeah, she was great. Michael Johnson, who played the main character, was also great. He has his buddy Cooper Tomlinson, who's a big collaborator with him, and as a lot of his projects that we later found out was also in this movie. I mean, the main four leads really did a great job in this movie. And going again about the comedy of it, the unintentional comedy. I don't know. It feels like when going back to that scene where she smashes her head into the steering wheel, it's completely you're shocked. You're like, oh, this is like literally in that barely 5 minute time span. You have this is a sweet moment, then it's completely gone, and then you're shocked and you're horrified, and then it's kind of funny when she literally finished killing her and goes around the car and comforts him. She's like, no, it's okay, baby. It's okay, baby. I'm so sorry. Okay, you know, I had to do that. You know,
I'm so sorry you had to see that.
You so sorry to see that.
Help me find her body.
Yes. It's like, go help me find her body. It's like, you did this. You understand that. And she's right, actually. Yeah. You knew the consequences, you dumbass. Like, you led to her death. And he's like, now you got to go help me hide the body. Like, and literally it cuts to both of them dragging her body on the street. And you can't help but, it is fucked up. And you can't help but to laugh in that moment. And literally, I just had an array of motions within that 5 minute time span. And I think to me, that scene encapsulates the humor, the horror, the sadness, just all of it right there.
Well, in that same scene too, I had been impressed with, and I had to think about it more after we had seen it. I was like, I think I was really impressed with him on that one, and I thought about it more. I was like, no, I really was, because if I remember correctly, like he's not even screaming or doing anything. Like he's just like pushing himself into the furthest he can into the corner of the car with blood splattered, and like kind of looking, kind of not, and doing this shake, and like nothing's over the top. Nothing. It was a genuine like. Fear. and I think that added to all that, because as she comes in, you're like, what the fuck? Like, what's wrong with you, bitch? But like within the split second before, you're like, this is out of hand.
Yes. Like, I think we've now gone too far.
Yeah.
We've gone too far. And
we crossed a line or two.
If we haven't already, we definitely did now.
Yeah.
And it's almost like and as we go toward the end of the movie, it's almost like a bittersweet ending, because at the end of the day, granted, there were some casualties, but the person who was the most innocent did end
all those things.
Well, yes, but also
Bear killed her no matter what.
You killed who?
Nikki. I mean, her life is over.
Oh.
That bitch is going to jail.
Yeah. Now if she can get out of it, I would just like. Obsession 2, get the fuck out of that room. This is get out of there, run.
He killed everyone. Tell them I would be like, he kidnapped me, I've been trapped, he killed all these people. Like, I already have a lawyer for her, it's fine.
Yeah.
Lucy's like, she's a damsel and she was in distress, okay?
But I really enjoyed the ending, because like there could have been an easily an ending where she makes the wish for him to be obsessed with her, and it's almost, and that could have ended right there. It could have ended where like it was a very like, oh look, they did find love at the end of the day. But through this fucked up way of like love, they did end up loving each other. Just really, really messy of a version of this. I thought it was like a twisted ending of that. But then they took it a step further to like kind of like similar to the Romeo and Juliet thing, where like he was willing to kill himself to technically, in a way, sacrifice himself to get her back to normal. But in the process, then he gets trapped into his own obsession, like him obsessed with her, then her obsessed with him, then back and vice versa. And then, you know, he ended up dying based off his decision, and then, you know, she ends up living at the end of the day. I really enjoyed the ending. I think I might have preferred the twisted ending a little bit more, like if he didn't die and they're just living together in this fucked up state together. But I think ultimately this is probably better for all around.
He was still a coward though at the end, because he was like, I don't want to do this anymore. Yeah,
correct.
I don't think it was a selfless thing that he.
No, I don't.
He wanted to get out of this.
Yes.
Yeah.
He just didn't want to deal with it anymore.
And even the what was it? The either the person on the phone who was the voice of Curry Baker, or it was the guy at the counter at the store.
I know what you're gonna say, and it was the voice on the phone.
No, yes, I knew it was a voice of phone. I'm not sure who said it though. It was the fact he's like, well, you made the wish, so now you kind of have this responsibility.
Yeah, you have this responsibility. It was Curry on the phone. He's like, you kind of, yeah, he's like, you kind of are responsible, or no, what was the word exactly? He was like, you're
responsible for her until she dies, or something like that.
Yes,
It was along those lines, but it was just like you owe it to her, don't you? It was something like that. I think he was like, I mean, you kind of owe it to her to be there for her.
Because you put this. You made this happen. And I think honestly, yes, he was still a coward at the end of the day, but ultimately the best thing he probably could have done was kill himself. I mean, that seems like the best case scenario.
Just for all the listeners out there, we also do not condone to self-harm yourself. Okay, this is about a movie.
This is about
just want to throw that out there real quick.
In the context of the movie, yes. But also like they were like the guy on the phone, he was like he's like, I like to reverse my wish. We don't do that here.
Yeah. He's like, can I adjust it then?
He's like, would you like to adjust it? Like, can I adjust it?
I never saw the bylaws for this, honestly.
Yeah. But I do like the idea that, you know, Curry Baker said that, you know, this One Wish Willow can turn into things like it's obvious that like, oh yeah, we can just make an obsession to either continue the story or make an anthology series. But I like the idea of taking this concept and turning it into different genres.
Yeah.
And I feel like if it can be done right, then and not just like, you know, we're just making, you know, stupid sequels just because we can. I think this could turn into something that like will be worth getting excited about, like a new,
and it would be a new kind of concept in the sense, because it's almost like an anthology series on film that has all these sequels, and the only thing that's constant is the One Wish Willow, and depending on how the wish is made. So it can literally, like he said, literally be a very happy rom-com movie where there is no ulterior motive, but this wish helps create whatever this is, and everyone lives happily ever after. This one was not.
Correct. And also like if they like seeing how they kind of do these franchises, this could easily be like, well, we have a thriller, we have a rom-com, and now we're going to give you the origin of the One Wish Willow.
How did the One Wish Willow begin?
Yes, exactly. And so
it was like, from the Lorax.
Yeah. And so like, yeah, there's a lot of potential here on this franchise, but also I'm more curious about his next project, which when I found out what is he working on next, it kind of got me a little bit upset. His next project, they actually got him tapped to direct the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh yeah, I did see that.
We heard that when we were listening to an interview, and I was like, kind of my thoughts exactly, because is it a sequel or is it like a reboot again? Because if we're being honest, I know this is not the conversation for it, but I stand by this. I think the Texas Chainsaw reboot with Jessica Biel is perfection. Like that was one of the greatest remakes of a horror movie, and I still stand by it. I think it was just done so well. So I'm kind of like, okay, like we get it.
Yeah,
it's a chainsaw. Like we get it.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised that they are actually going this route. Like Like he just did this great indie film, and you're already tapping him to do this other thing. It's like that's like kind of like against the whole vibe of what he's given us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But unless you go back and do like Toby Hooper and actually do like Texas Chainsaw, and they made it for like $300, and they all filmed it themselves, and it turned into a cult classic. Then you know what? Then talk to me then. But you know, it's gonna be a run of the mill Texas Chainsaw sequel, probably.
Yeah, I think so too. But the problem is that he like, and I've watched I watched some of his other shorts. I watched Milk and Cereal. I watched Chair, and I can't remember the other Enigma. I watched those three kind of, and his style stays consistent. It's very like creepy, but also very intimate. Like these very intimate, creepy stories, and that's kind of like his vibe. So I wonder, like, are we gonna get more of the Leatherface of like kind of like of his side of the story and kind of in his brand, because especially Milk and Cereal, like that one is fucking wild. Like you basically go into the mind of this serial killer and like how he plans all these killings and like it's kind of played out through this.
We're gonna watch it as soon as we're done.
Yeah, it's definitely, especially if you liked Obsession, it is 100% worth your time. I really, really enjoy his style. I'm really looking forward to pretty much whatever he's going to be doing in the future, just because his style is so unique and like he is very focused on the characters driving the story and not so much of like so like when you think of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, that it's easy to rely heavily on, you know, things that have already been established and like kind of following the lore already. But what if he's able to give us something fresh and new with this franchise? That's kind of what I'm
Ernesto, changing people's minds over here.
Well, only reason, and I was originally with you until I watched his previous work, because they are different, but there's something about his style that's very consistent, even through Obsession, that just that thing that makes Obsession good is what kind of carries on from all his previous work. So I'm hopeful.
Yeah, and very much, I do think, because, and also all the things that Ernesto, all those 3 shorts and like mini movie that he did are all available on YouTube. So if you're ever curious, just go on YouTube; it's all there. But it seems like very similarly to Zach Krager. You know, he came out with Barbarian, and then obviously the huge success out of Weapons. Now we're getting a Gladys prequel off of the Weapons branding already, and we also see that Zach Krager is attached to not only direct a new version of Resident Evil, which is coming out later this year, but he's also working on yet another project after that that's not the Gladys prequel. He's writing it, but he's not directing it. So he's like working really hard right now, and he's like the new like guy for horror. But to me, that's like, I'm so interested in your original work because of what you've already given us, that like it kind of like, I could be eating my words in a few weeks or a few months when you know we see Resident Evil for Zach Krager, or we eventually see Texas Chainsaw Massacre from Curry Baker. Like they could give us new perspectives on these legendary franchises that we've never were thinking about, and they could really shift your perspective on it. But as of right now, I was like, I would much rather just you be you. Like you be you. I feel like Jordan Peele, from like comedian turned horror directors, like you have paved the way for these new directors to come out and like,
original stories.
Original, interesting stories. And Jordan Peele has not done gone out of that yet. He's given us like Get Out and Us and Nope, and like let's stay there. Like let's just continue to be the original guy, because like I like your style. Let's keep that going.
Like I don't want to see Jordan Peele do like Freddy Krueger, right? You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yes.
Like it feels redundant, and it also, I mean, while I think he would do a cool like version and variation of it, I'm like, that's not the wheelhouse. Like let him do his own original stories. Like I kind of like they're very unsolved mysteries the way that he writes his stories.
I do kind of like what he's been doing, because he does have his original work, but he did produce the remake of Candyman, which was
you're right.
That's right. He did.
Was that Nia Long? Was that the name?
Yes. Yeah, I think she. Yeah. No. No. Nia DaCosta.
Nia DaCosta. Excuse me. Yes. So she directed which I thought was great. With that, that had Yahul Abdin Martin, who also plays Wonder Man. Like, what a fantastic remake! Like, maybe he wasn't fully involved, but he's still in the mix of like what the vision of this could be. And I
can understand. He understands like the what is it, like you really understand like the depth of like the character, and like I guess where they originate from, not so much as telling their origin story again, but just knowing who the character it is and why they are.
and Matt, we were talking about Resident Evil. Now I recently, you know, of course I avoid all trailers, so I only see trailers now when I'm in the theater. So I actually saw the trailer for Resident Evil when I saw Obsession, and I have to say I'm on board. Like, it was a solid.
It looks cool, right?
Solid trailer. You know, and from what I've read, this is gonna be like the truest adaptation from video game to film, that's gonna be great because Resident Evil is just such like it's kind of like The Last of Us, where it's very much like scavenging, trying to find things, and then you have like these crazy fucked up monsters that you got to fight. So I'm on board for what this is going to be. It looks like it's going to be a wild time.
Yeah, I'm the only reason why I'm watching it is because of Zach Rager.
100%.
Like that's what I'm there for. So hopefully they can, you know, he delivers. Before
real quick before we wrap up, did y'all see that fucking Dateline Chris Hansen trailer with Robert Pattinson?
I did not see the trailer for it. I've heard about it.
Prime Time. That looks crazy. How do you get his voice?
You sold me a Robert Pattinson, so that's all. That's all. That's my boy.
I haven't seen this.
It just came out like yesterday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It was a fairly new trailer that I think the movie comes out later this fall. But yeah, I mean, to Ernesto's point, I don't got to watch the trailer. Just Robert Pattinson, I'm there.
Yeah, Robert Pattinson in it. He's starring in it. He's fucking Batman.
He's Batman. But yeah, before we wrap up, I do want to quickly talk about the box office because this is an unforeseen anomaly of things that are happening along this movie. So this movie had a budget of under $1 million. Under $1 million. Anywhere it's anywhere between $750,000 to about $1 million. The movie opened to about $17 million at number 3, and that's already like, damn, like it already made back its money and then some.
Oh yeah.
And then the word of mouth came along, and in its second week, it actually made more money in its second week of release than it did in its first week, which is already unprecedented. So it opened at number 3 at 17 mil. The next week it opened, in the second week you had The Mandalorian Grogu that obviously was going to make a lot of money to some degree.
Yeah.
But in second was Obsession with $22 million. So already going ahead of its second release within its second release or second week of release. At the time of this recording, this movie has made $608.8 million. Sorry, let me rephrase. $67.8 million. $67.8 million domestically, $22.2 million internationally, with the current worldwide gross at $90.1 million. This man is about to make $100 million.
If this surpasses 100 million, this is going to be one of the most successful. Yeah, it is. It's going to be one of the most successful films based off of budget, probably in the history. Like,
I mean, I'm sure there are going to be articles. Yeah, it's going to be up there. I'm sure there are other movies that are in the same boat like this, but the fact that this movie is now nearing $100 million.
Fucking Blumhouse looking at Curry, just being like, "Yes, my."
But I think the success of this movie really just showcases that we are starving for original stories.
Absolutely.
Not everything needs to be an IP. Like, so look at the success of this one, and then you look at the release of like Scream 7, which we talked about with Steph like a couple of months ago. Like, incomparable. Like that franchise that has this big base. Like, this movie is honestly way better than that one.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
you know what I mean?
100%.
Like that as an established IP, whereas this as this is his first studio feature film ever. So like that alone says volumes. So I'm all on board for this. And I mean,
and he's what, 26?
Yeah, he's very young.
He's very
23.
Young. Yeah.
Damn. I remember my first beer.
But it's also, I think, Ernesto, to your point, we're starving for original content. Also, the power of positive word of mouth. People were like, I was seeing this movie like when it was at the festivals, and like, oh, Obsession, that people are obsessed with Obsession. Like, that was the tagline. And so like you saw, then obviously Blumhouse picked it up from there. probably spending nothing on this movie to have a return of $100 million out of this. And also, it's crazy to even see that it was Blumhouse. To be honest with you, it was like Focus Features.
I was surprised.
I thought this was an A24 movie.
Same. Yeah.
And it was like, nope, from Blumhouse and Focus Features. I was like, all right, Universal, you got yourself. And when this movie hits $100 million, I mean, already now they're going to be instantly looking at this to franchise it.
Of course.
And he has to be thinking about this clearly now.
Well, he was one of the other ideas that I had heard him do an interview with was that he was like, I honestly love a television series too, and each episode is a different wish.
Yeah.
That would be fun. Yeah.
That'd be a huge fun idea. Just so Ernesto, you were or Stev, you were talking about like budget to box office success. I remember reading an article and they were comparing this to the success of the first paranormal activity.
Oh yeah.
That's a good
comparison. And so I just looked it up right here that the first paranormal activity movie had a budget of $15,000 to I think to $450,000, which is a very large margin to the budget. However, it doesn't matter because the movie had a worldwide gross of $194.2 million.
Wow.
So it had less of
to be fair, we didn't have cell phones back then. So we all had to just go to the movie.
So it had less of a budget of Obsession and currently is making more. But now with Obsession and like only in its second week, and it's clearly going to be surpassing $100 million. Who knows how far this is going to go in its third, fourth, and fifth week, because right now there's at the moment not really any scary movies in competition with I take that back. The Break Room comes out this weekend.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Back Room. Back Room.
Yeah,
Back Room.
And then you had what was that, Hokum that came out with
with Adam Scott.
That was in and out of theaters, so
very in and out of theaters.
And what's the other one? Passengers.
Passengers, also another movie no one's talking about.
I heard it got bad.
Yeah, people said it sucked.
It's not
but a lot of positive buzz around the Back Room. That's from A24. So curious to see if that ends up being a box office success.
And Matt, the girl from Shrinking's in it. The daughter.
Oh yes, from the Back Room. Yes.
I know.
Yeah.
Isn't that cool?
And so is this guy, Chiwetel Ejiofor. He's in that. He's in that movie too.
Yeah, he's in it too. Like they got some star power for that movie too.
Yeah.
And there's another one who was like the director's like 20 years old. I read an article that he had an opportunity to go to college, or he decided not to go to college to make this movie. And I mean,
live your dreams, kids.
Yeah, seriously. I think he made an okay decision. Like you don't have to go to college to be a movie director. I'm just saying. So I think he did all right.
It's funny because like we're currently like visually and like seeing it, like the changeover of like the freshman class of like the new Hollywood happening right now, and it's really cool, and it's very exciting to see them all wanting to just do originality and just like do things that are just like passion projects, and they're turning into things like this.
It's refreshing.
And we're all like, oh my god, we're obsessed. Yeah, it's very
refreshing. It's refreshing, and it gives people more of a reason to go out to the theaters, because now
100%.
like people that go out, I saw Obsession, it was really great. Well, what else they got out? I didn't see Michael's still out. So like maybe seeing something like this could lead to seeing to some of these other big IPs, since you're already one of those, like you're already there and you're kind of in the environment, and like, I guess I will go see that. Like this was a good time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and Ernesto and I, we've talked about this a lot on the show, but like people think that the movie theaters are dying, and I don't believe that's true. I think that that people just need a reason to go to the theater.
I was gonna say, you need to give us a good reason to go to the theater,
right? And
I'm not just gonna go spend money to go watch emoji movies. Like,
So, Matt, I think I saw this. I think at the time when I saw it, I think it was opening weekend. It was right after opening weekend. So I saw this, and it was I saw this in the middle of the day on a Tuesday, and my theater was packed in the middle of the fucking afternoon, and like the theater was not empty.
Like it's a work day, and people are like, oh, we can skip the afternoon.
Yeah, it's like, aren't you all supposed to be at work? Jeez, get out. No, but that's, I think that goes to your point. It's like the word of mouth, and like people just finding a good reason to spend the time and money to go out to the theaters.
People want an experience, and this movie 100% gave you an experience.
Oh yeah.
But with that, we're gonna be wrapping up our final thoughts and our 5-star rating. Stev and Lucy, we'll start with you. Final thoughts, 5-star rating.
Amazing. 5.
Ooh.
Agreed. You know what? I don't want to. I always do like 5 or like whatever, and it's like no, I'll give it a 4. No, this was like legit a 5. This everything that was done. It was very intentional. Everything is very
I didn't complain about anything.
No,
and I
yeah.
always complain about something.
Yeah. So and I think and then to like Lucy's point when she said in the beginning, this is the first time in a while that like after we left the theater, we continuously wanted to talk about it. And then talk about it days later, and then like look up interviews and like and kind of learn more about it. So I was like, you gotta be really good at writing and storytelling for me to want to be able to deep dive like this and be like, okay, this is cool. Like, let's keep talking about it. So 5.
I think it's funny because literally the whole existence of this episode that we did not plan, that we mentioned at the beginning of the show, was because of the obsession that we had over this movie. And you're like, and we'd like, we have to talk about it. Like, I want to go on the show. I want to talk about this. We need an outlet. We got to get this out.
Yeah. He was like, well, we didn't have one. We didn't have one planned. I was like, well, fucking get on the books.
Yeah.
Sounds like you got it planned now.
Ernesto, your final thoughts and 5-star rating.
So I'm also actually going to go with 5-star. And Stev, I'm going to piggyback off of you. I think what the biggest draw for this movie is the writing and how great he writes his characters, that they can live in this space and they have space to breathe. And you can you focus on the nuances of the character as opposed to like what the thing, like the One Wish Willow, like even like we had moments where we focused on it, but it wasn't even the main thing of what was happening. It was just the catalyst that caused this thing to happen. But for me, like I love the jump scares. They were super effective. I really liked the framing, the fact that they didn't do a typical 16:9. I think the changing it really kind of draws you in even more so into the movie. I think that was just such a cinematically, for the cinematography, I think it was just a great choice. I think like the way he wrote Bear as like this cowardice character, it just makes the story even more tragic. Because like you look at him as a villain, but then you also like he has this like really bad character flaw that clearly is the thing that ruins his life. Like I think Curry Baker is a director to look out for. Like he's one that if I see that really realistically, like this movie was so good and his other projects are so good that if I just see his name attached to a project that it doesn't even matter what it's about. Yeah, seriously. Like he's one that if I see his name, like I'm in, I'm sold. Like I'm a fan.
You just did it with Robert Pattinson when I was like, did you hear? And he's like, I don't need to hear anything. You said Robert Pattinson, I'm in.
Yeah, like you go, like I think that just sticks with like certain creatives. Like you just see the care that they put into their craft, and I just have so much respect for what he did. And I'm like, he sold me with his work. Like, it totally sold me. I'm in from whatever he does. So, 5 stars.
I just looked at our letterbox at Box Office Bingers, and I want to verify before I said it. But this would be our first, because I'm also agreeing with everyone saying this movie is 100% a 5 out of 5 stars. This will be our first 5 out of 5 that we've given out this year.
Really? That's yeah.
Wow.
Look at that.
There's always
obsession.
Yeah, obsession. Yay!
Obsession.
Yay, murder.
But I think to everything that we've been saying so far, the storytelling is so strong. The moments are shocking. It's funny. It's scary. It's creepy. It's captivating. It's all things you want when you're going to the movies. And Lucy said it best as well. Is like, I have nothing bad to say about this movie. I mean, if you really, really want to, you could nitpick it, but like, it doesn't excuse the fun that I was having and the emotions that I was having while I was watching this movie. And for all of those reasons, this movie 100% deserves a 5 out of 5 stars.
I would also add that as a group theater experience, I mean, I went by myself. I didn't go on a family. I didn't get to go on the family outing, but my theater, we had a great time, like laughing and enjoying the movie together with, complete strangers, not with family or friends or loved ones.
Would have been cool if you were with your family or friends.
It would have been, but just me and my jacket. It's my makeshift blanket. and my water bottle like an old man.
I'm cozy. I got my blanket. I got my water bottle. I'm cozy.
I got filled up my
Everyone's
water.
looking at him. They're like, look at that poor man. He has no friends.
You know what's even worse is that I have a plastic bag filled with mixed nuts that I eat during the movie. I got my healthy snack. I'm watching the movie.
My healthy snacks. I gotta bring my Ben Gay though because my back will tighten up if I sit down for too long.
I sneak in a Diet Dr Pepper that I crack when the trailer starts.
All of my fridge cigs.
Oh man. Well, there you go. That is our spoiler review on Obsession, and that is all the show we have for you guys this week. Stev, Lucy, it's been a pleasure.
Yes.
Stev, as always, having you on the show, but Lucy, you were just a delight having on here as well.
So Lucy,
first time
as our first time guest, we have a question that we ask all our first time guests. What is your favorite movie and why?
Oh, this is hard.
It is usually a hard question. It is usually hard.
I'm gonna say my favorite movie ever is Clueless.
Solid choice.
I can't really tell you why, but it's everything to me. Like
it's a classic.
It's a classic.
Paul Rudd still looks like that.
Everything about it is wonderful.
Yeah.
Yes, it's my favorite movie ever. Yeah.
So it's one that you can always watch on repeat in the background whenever.
I can quote it, watch it, put it on whenever I want. I have several of these, but I think that's the one. Yeah.
That's the one.
That's currently the costume idea that she was thinking about going for Outrageous this year.
It's a 90s.
The 90s theme.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, but you can go Cher. I was like, hell, you can go as a Monet.
A Cher.
Full on Monet.
Yeah, Stev, I don't think we can have just you on the show anymore. I think that's kind of.
I mean, I agree.
I think it has to be. It's a dual thing now. So you have to come in as a pair. I think that's what.
So then we're gonna. So which means when we do that, that means we're also gonna have to go review rom-coms and her
that's fine.
All her bullshit.
Yeah,
that's okay.
You love her. She's amazing. Yeah. Like we will gladly watch all the movies that she likes.
Shit here.
And you're gonna shut the fuck up and you're gonna enjoy it. And you're gonna tell her that you loved it.
Steph, it's like we don't watch every movie that's out there.
Yeah. We watch
box office binges.
I mean,
we
literally
binge everything in the box office.
I don't know I don't remember what year it came out. It was either last year or the year before. But one of our favorite movies was the one with I knew he was gonna say that. I know he was gonna get that. What is it called? The Materialist, I think it's what it's called.
The Materialist.
We talked about that while we were in line for an hour for a fucking ride too.
They did not share the same excitement that we did.
That's fine. Yeah, I loved it. I think it was great. I thought it was great.
And then Matt was getting all passionate about it because he had like fucking Mike's hard that he like
He's like, hold on. He's like, hold on. Let me listen to what I said on the episode.
He's like, hold on. Let me shotgun this Mike's hard real quick. I was like, what's happening? Oh my gosh. He's like, I'm tipsy. I was like, yeah, I bet you are.
But this was such a fun episode.
Yeah, we had
I'm glad we're able to get this in here. Yes. If you want more from us, you can always follow us on all social media channels on Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok at Box Office Bingers, our X and Letterbox page at Box Office Binger, and our Threads and Instagram page at Box Office_Bingers. The fun didn't stop here. It continues on all of our social media channels, so be sure to give each one of those a follow. We'll tell you what's new to streaming every Sunday. Nope, every Friday. And we'll tell you the box office numbers every Sunday. You can see our lovely faces on all the places that we post our videos and shorts. And also check out our letterbox at Box Office Bingers, where we have all of our movie reviews stored on there. Again, Stev, Lucy, thank you for joining us. This will have to be not an only thing. Your guys, obviously, Stev, you come on the show more, probably more than anybody so far we've had on this show. But now Lucy is more than welcome to continuing her presence on the show.
Even if it's just her, we actually don't need you anymore, Steph. We can.
And you want to know why I didn't invite you to the family trip?
Wow, it's okay. I hate me too. I get it.
Steph, I really hope you're planning the next trip for Ernesto to come and visit you because.
No, I am. No,
okay.
I need to come for the next one. You just come, sir, because you and I need to have our bro time too.
Take him camping in the mountains.
That sounds like I'm gonna kill him. Like,
no, it's not like.
What?
Obsession part 2.
No, that was tough. I know.
Love me forever.
Yeah. No, Tuk Tuk took me into the mountains in West Texas. But no, guys, no, we had so much fun doing this. It made it more fun being able to do it with her. So it's awesome. And Matt, we had such a blast with you this last weekend. Not to rub it in your face or anything, Ernesto, but
let's just go ahead and rehash your whole wonderful weekend again. And how much
but it was a real fun weekend.
Yeah,
it was a real fun weekend. So you're due now, sir.
Yeah,
so
I'm due.
You'll come back down.
We're also going over there soon.
Yeah,
So
we'll see y'all soon.
Yeah,
we're definitely
we're gonna make that trip happen.
We will all be together once again.
Yes.
Yay!
Friends.
How many of us have them?
Friends.
People we can depend on.
Friends.
That was beautiful.
Yes. Many years in the making.
We like to thank each and every one of you just listening to us just talk about movies. Really do appreciate it. Come back next week for more movie fun. You're not going to regret it. And for that, I've been your host, Matt Diaz.
I've been Ernesto Santos. See ya.